Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to Sit Down and Shut Up. Juzzy, in case you didn't know that. Let's make sure Discord is correct here. One sec. That should be alright. Alright, welcome in. Another episode of Sit Down and Shut Up. Today we got... Oh, Kenny Musho, thank you for the subprime, bro. Appreciate it. Today we got Saku, who's running JP today. So, wanted some feedback on that. So let's bring him on. See what's going on. Hey, Saku.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
I'm good. What about you?
Not too bad. It's been a minute, dude. We haven't played in a while. I know you were on like vacation, right, for a while. So
Yeah, for 1 month.
that's good stuff. You mentioned you're switching to JP, right? Is that kind of like your new main, or what do you think?
I just thought JP as a secondary.
Okay,
So
we'll run him. All right, sounds good. So it looks like you're just looking for some feedback. So let me get the room opened up, and we'll go from there. So give me a minute here. All right, cool. So just for the stream and if you weren't aware, I think what we're gonna do today is we'll run a first to three, kind of see where you're at, what I think you may have issues with or whatever. Might cook me for all I know. We'll see how it goes. We'll start with that, and then after that we'll do a little replay review. So we'll take a look at one or two of the replays, see if there's any, see what happened, and kind of talk through that. Since you didn't send me any replays, you haven't been playing JP, let's not worry about any sort of ranked games or anything like that. Let's just take a look at a couple of our replays and see what's up with that. Afterwards, we can do a little lab work. I know you're a lab monster, but if there are specific situations that maybe we need to take a look at in depth, we could take a look at that. And then afterwards, if you're up for it, we can run another first three after. So, sound reasonable?
okay, yes, I'm good.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and queue up in any slot. So what I'll say is I'm going to deafen in Discord while we do the first to three, mostly because I talk a lot, so don't want to impact anything you're doing. And I also may not rematch right away, so the timer rate may run down to like 1 or 2 as I'm talking on stream and stuff, so that when you look at the VOD later, you'll see what I was thinking during the set. So,
Okay.
all right, man. Good luck.
Good luck.
Saku's too good, man. This guy's one of the OG lab monsters, one of the first folks I played when I joined the Newbie Fight Club. I didn't realize he was actually in France until way later. So this man's on EU time. So dedication. So let's see what's going on here. Alright, so I will say that Portal and Neutral is kind of dangerous. If I react to that, I can just drive rush in like I just saw, right? Of course, if I just press my stand heavy punch and get clipped. He's gonna amnesia again. Okay, so corner defense, obviously the JP revolves around the good timing usage of like amnesia, right? OD amnesia. Not as strong as it was in season 1, but oh shit, that was nice. Obviously still really good enough to get people off you. All right, so the main things I'm seeing right now is that we're not really playing neutral, right? Oh shit. Which is fine with JP, right? It's kind of what you want to do. You want to keep me as far as it can. Okay. Don't worry, guys. COTW tonight. Maybe I'll just keep the stream going. We'll just play that tonight, huh? Oh, very nice. I think we super here. Mostly because it puts him in the corner, gives me a chance to get some of the meter back because I had to use it all to counter DI there, and just hope that I can navigate what's happening here. Oh! Ah! Matching DP? Oh, I got hit. Oh, what a bait! I'm dead! Oh, so good. So good, so good. See? Saku's too good, mate. Doesn't need anything from me. But realistically, though, some of the things I'm seeing right now is that I think some of the portal usage may need to be cleaned up a little bit. And in neutral, he's not really playing it, but that's okay, right? Because you're playing JP as zoner. A little bit of, right, walking backwards. Something you gotta be careful of in game, right, when you're getting hit by stuff. Oh, I'm dead from that, right? Ooh. Okay, a little bit of rollback issues there, I think. It was like, I couldn't really hit confirm a couple of things and rolled back, but it's okay. Mixed up. Oh, I tried. I'm gonna get hit by all this, right? I gotta eat all this. Okay. So corner shenanigans aside here, I think the way that we're both kind of playing this game is, you know, it's a little bit read based. I think the real game is one loss in the corner here, right? Obviously, when JP has me full screen, he's able to beat me. Oh, I went through. Anti-airs. Alright, let's see. So that's the delayed button there. Alright, some of that might just be lag, honestly. A little bit of and then amnesiaing over the end there. It's kind of hard to describe what's happening here because Saku's such a good player, right? I actually have to. I'm really trying not to lose. And it's JP, right? Very taxing the mental stack overall, which is what you want, right? That's how you should be playing JP. The issue is that I'm kind of navigating around his zoning pretty well, so he's not able to get that going, right? Okay, here we go. That was just a hard read. He's been going into that target combo and doing something. So I kind of figured he would try to do something cheeky or maybe go for some sort of other option there. So I just kind of held up to see what would happen. Worked out. But yeah, I think like it's hard to describe JP like how I would play him if it was me. Because the way I play JP typically ends up being this, right? I'm full screen zone. Right? Try to keep me full screen like this. Exactly. This is JP's win condition right here, right? Throw loops in the corner. Oh. Am I dead? Right, so, like, Saga's a lab monster, right? So him being able to do these, like, combos again with JP max damage stuff is exactly what... Oh, no. I blame the rollback. But yeah, I did drop that. That's unfortunate. Alright, so the main way I'm getting him right now is with that walk back, right? Like he walks back after some sort of pressure. Right, that's unsafe. Full screen, level 1. Oh no. Oh, okay. So I need to be drive rushing in, right? So on the portal when it comes out, I need to actually be drive rushing in. So I'm allowing to get away with these kind of unsafe portals in neutral, and that's really killing me at this point. So. Alright, so next time I do that, I'm gonna not take advantage of plus frames. Oh man, what a sweep. Yeah, see? That's... This corner option tends to be jump. Went for DI, I think, there. My issue here needs to be cross-cutting, for sure. Yeah, that jump timing is so good. Oh, that clipped me? Nice. Ooh. Saku's too good, man. I don't know why he's on this show, dude. He's cooking me. Thought that hit. I guess not. Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna lose. Oh, I should have waited, man. The burnout was probably not worth it, to be honest, but we'll see. Saku gets the designation of the first person to beat me in the very first to 3. That's awesome. Hey, Saku.
Hey, GG's.
Why are you here, man? You just cooked me, dude, on stream. All right, well, I mean, there's still stuff we can talk about though. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we ended up kind of trading on, I think, there might have been a little scrambly, so we can take a look at some of those situations and try to mitigate what was happening there. There's also a couple of things in neutral I think you can probably improve upon. So I'm gonna share my screen in Discord, and then we can take a look at one of the replays. Oh, it just opens up already, huh? Okay. All right. Oh no, my game pros.
It's okay.
Damn it. All right, hold on, folks. Let's see. Yeah, I think my game is dead. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, crash report. Let's get this thing back up. See? It cooked me so hard you blew up my game. No, but seriously though, that your GP is pretty good, man. I think like the main things that I would probably want to see more of would be some of the more of the full screen zone. Now I know I was doing as best I could to stay inside of your zoning range, I guess. But there were a couple of spots I think like you chose to throw portal out instead of maybe using a spike or something else to try to keep me out, right? Because if you throw portals in neutral like that, especially against a Ken that has like drive rush, I think like you got hit a couple of times that you probably didn't need to get hit, right? And
yeah, that's a really bad habit that I have.
Yeah, because you could definitely get away with that, you know, climbing into master, people respect it too much, but Portal is way too minus to do that otherwise, right? So again, maybe it's character specific, like against maybe like Manon or someone else that has this kind of crappy drive rushes, it's okay, but with Ken he can cover the full screen, right? So all right, let's see. Oops. All right, replay list. All right, let's take this one, and then this one. This one probably. All right, and then let me make sure my screen is in Discord being shared because I think it crashed. So hopefully it's not a Discord thing that caused it to crash. Well, we'll see. All right, so let's take a look at the replay list here. All right, so this is the first one that I won. Let's take a look at this guy. So something I noticed in stream or on stream 2 that I mentioned was that you have a tendency to kind of walk back, right? After something is blocked, you kind of want to watch out for that. Because I was tagging you a lot with like, kind of medium Jinrai, right? So yeah, just the preface, I'm not a JP player. My JP is like Diamond 3. So So I actually got through. If I had went for stand heavy punch here, probably would have gotten you, but yeah, see, like that, right? So if you look at what was the
So here I miss input because I want to activate the portal.
oh, as I was drive rushing in. Yeah,
see,
okay.
like I think the drive rush hits my input. Because,
Yeah, the driver shall eat the probably the diagonal, right?
Yeah,
or
that's why,
or the back. So it read this right here, this back heavy punch instead. So yeah, if you had activated, it probably would have clipped me, right? So
that's why I ended up doing that.
yeah. All right, so you did a really good job of, because I guess we played so much, right? So that I like to go for shimmy and jumps and that type of, or throws and that type of thing. So you did a pretty good job of navigating the corner here, just jumping out. If I was a better player, I think I would have been able to anti-air you a little bit more effectively, but it worked well here. I think that you did choose jump a lot though, and that might just be a matchup thing, against me in particular. But if they are rotating offensive options here, going for more medias and stuff, which happened here too, right? I started going for media stuff when you stopped amnesiaing. So, again, it's just for defensive option rotation, right? Yeah, see, like that is actually my bad habit here, right? So this is my problem for you guys in chat. I autopilot this, right? So if I did a jab or reacted instead, I could just DP you here, right? So, but I think you dropped this, or
Yeah,
there's a
because I
gap,
hit you
right? Too high.
I hit you too high, so
Yeah. So
since it's 12 frame, I don't have the time to.
yeah, I always feel like I have to go for the back medium punch, I think, here, because I feel like when I do that, it almost always hits. Whereas if I go for like the stand heavy kick here, I drop it. So that'd be something to think about. Like, cause you can do the medium target combo here, and it should hit, right? So yeah. So take a look at this. Let's find out. Yeah. See. Yo, Halo, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. So yeah, I think like consistency wise, it might make sense to just go for the target combo there.
If I tie combo instead of Philip punch.
Yeah, maybe because you can also do this, I think. Oh shit. Yeah, I think target combo is probably for consistency, right? If like you hit low enough, for sure you can do the target combo, then like the heavy target combo, then do it, like stand heavy kick. But I think if you're not sure, or if you just want to be consistent, like say it's a tournament or something, you want to make sure. I think target combo is probably better, right? So, because you still get the same conversion, right? You'd send me full screen, the full conversion, get portal set up. So it's probably worth doing, I think. So instead, it happens you get perfect parried here, right?
Yeah.
Hit combo for Oki, right? See, and then there's one where I actually reacted, right? I didn't throw the stand heavy punch. I waited, and I reacted, right? So if you see if your opponent isn't doing this, then I think you should keep jumping, right? Like they worked really well against me, so keep doing it.
That's what I always do.
Yeah.
And here that's the panic amnesia.
Yeah, panicking. Yeah, I know. And you know, Fox talks about this all the time, right? Don't wait for the last last interaction to do it.
Yeah, don't wait for the last moment to do it.
Yeah. Because like you know, the neutral jump here is kind of a read on my part too. But like if you did level 1 or some other reversal option, or even delay tech, you would beat that. So you know. Not the worst thing in the world, but the main thing though is that you got clip put in the corner, and then a couple of bad guesses, and some unlucky things too, right? The drive rush getting eaten, or drive rush eating your portal activation, and then your stand heavy kick being a little bit late because you hit me too high, right? So just a couple of things that maybe you know, for the drive rushing, I'm not sure if there's a way to be more consistent there, but for the jump in, I think go to target combo might be the way to go. Hey, Flash. All right, so we both go on the drive rush here. Typically, at least when I see this, you know, mash your fastest button, right? I think for JP he does have a 4-frame here with a light kick. I think crouching light kick. So
his 4-frame is crouching light.
It's a light punch. I think it actually outranges it too. So, but yeah, if you see when you drive rush open like that and both of us turn green, just mash the mash the light button, right? Because you press the crouching medium kick here, maybe you'd committed to it or whatever, but I flash my jab, right? You can actually see when I decide to actually press my button. So if you look at the beginning, right? We both go into drive rush. You're already committed to this button. I don't press mine until a little bit later, right? Because I've already seen that both of us have turned green. So I actually changed what I was going to do to hitting jab, or maybe I was gonna jab, I'm not sure, but you can see I don't press the button right away, right? So of course I don't confirm the DP because reasons, but that, you know, the when two people drive rush together at the same time, you know, typically you want to try to mash out your lightest button, or you can go for reversal, I guess, if you're, you know, got the skills to pay the bills, right? But or a baller, but you know, that's kind of risky. So right there, right? So this is something I totally noticed, right? And I think you probably are seeing it too, right? So every time...
Yeah, I get clipped by crouching medium kick a lot.
Yeah. Because it makes sense though, right? Like in your head, I'm like, okay, I just blocked something, I'm plus, or I'm minus at this point, he's plus, right? Because you know I'm plus after drive rush here.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get thrown, right? Because if you hold back and I go for throw here, I'm going to whiff it, you'll get a chance to punish, right? But if I go for the crouching medium case, I can clip you. So it might be worth just like doing a different option here. Maybe like a delay jab, potentially. I'm not quite sure if JP has good options out of that. I'm sure he could, right? You could use a delay jab into like a light spin, potentially, to confirm. But, you know, you don't always have to walk back after this, right? You can kind of stand your ground, you know, plant a little bit and wait to see what I do, right? You could also, I mean, you could go for a delay option, delay tech, delay button, right? You could just elect to block here. Maybe I shimmy you here, and then you're able to, you know, end my pressure effectively, right? But if you notice your opponent going for... If your opponent notices you backing up, they're going to start doing this, right? So... Okay. So same situation previously. Except this time I go for a throw, right? So
yeah, see, I try to block low and
yeah, and then he got clipped. Yeah. And that's I mean that's part of the Ken mix-up, right? He gets to have that because he's Ken, but it is plus, you know, it's a plus situation strike throw. So you know, if you go for like a delay tech here, that's a little tough because Ken can just shimmy you, right? From that scenario. So you do have to guess a little bit here. Now, of course, you guessed, you know, incorrectly, unfortunately. It looks like you were just blocking, willing to take the throw here, which I think is totally fine, right? Given the life situation, all that. A little tough in the corner, but honestly, like, you take a throw here, it's not going to change the number of interactions for you to die, right? It's probably going to be like half an interaction, right? So, not the worst thing in the world to take the throw here. It would have been worse if you had delay tech and I shimmied you, right? That's like a ton of damage represented there, right? So, all right, back to this, right? Go for this sort of meaty jab, right? Ken is +1 here. I get to jab you, right? I don't confirm or final, you know, do the final hit confirm, but that's what it is. Right, and then, and then this is the Jinrai mix-up, right?
Classic.
Yeah. So what I will say is that I think when Kens start mixing up the Jinrai to do that, I think parry becomes less of an attractive option, right? Because you're taking a lot of risk to go for a parry here. And if you just flash parry, like you did here, right? Like you just flashed it, right? You didn't really hold it down. Right, and if I... Oops. Make sure that doesn't change. Right? So if I... You know, you flash parry there, it looks like it actually works here. I thought it would actually come out, but I guess the parry comes out and stays for a little bit. But I think you're taking a lot of risk, right? The overhead here comes out, you just block it, right? Which is fine, I guess, right? Overall. You don't get a perfect parry here. And even if I go for the low, you still have to time it correctly, right? Because Ken can kind of delay this a little bit. So I think if the Ken is starting to do the empty Jinrai stuff, you could just continue to block, or you could try to take, you know, be aggressive here, right? So you can go for like a fuzzy jab or something, or a fuzzy button to try to beat what I'm doing. Also, you have to remember that Ken is -5 on the block. So if I go back to this, right, that hits you obviously because the parry timing was incorrect there, right? But if you had just waited it out and allowed me to hit you there at that point, Ken is -5. So you may have an opportunity to take your turn back with either a 5 frame if it reaches. I don't know if JP's does. If he has one that will do that. Or you can press like a low or something to try to take your turn back, right? Because again, -5. I can't really press here. I can't really press my advantage here. It's a little bit of a space trap if the Ken is spaced correctly. But in the corner, it can be kind of tough because there's not as much pushback on your side. So you end up a little closer. So it's kind of a space-dependent thing, but I think you can take your turn back aggressively here. So you can go for like a crouching medium kick or something to try to tag me, either trying to back up or whatever, right? But it is your turn, technically.
Okay.
But yeah, parry can be tough. I think it's a good read, and I think you can do that to discourage Kens from going for the low. But once they start going for the empty, you got to change it up again, because that's what'll happen here. I'll just empty Jinrai, or even just crouch medium kick, right, and then go for the throw there. So. Anyway, you get the classic, right? And then you wake up with a button here, which works because I try to shimmy you. If I had gone for media, obviously it would be bad, but it worked out. Right? And then you time that, break my rhythm. Now I'm in the across, right? So I said on stream actually when this happened, I was just holding up because I thought you were gonna do something cheeky. I just made a hard read, and it worked. But realistically though, I think I'm not sure how plus this or how minus this actually is, right? Most people probably will just block, to be honest, because it's a stand heavy punch into like ghost.
Yeah, because if you jump and I do light ghost, I clip you.
Yeah, you clip me, right? And if I can't press here either, right?
No, I can't press.
Yeah, so jump, and then I think you end up getting super here, right? Yeah. So really, what happened, I think, in that one was you got clipped a couple of times on the walk back, right? And then a couple of mix-up situations didn't quite go your way. But honestly, like, there's not a whole lot that I think was wrong necessarily, because of you know, JP's game plan is to keep me away. I do think though, if there was one mistake, I would imagine it's this right here. Like this sequence here, the portals. I think you might be better off just throwing ghosts and spikes, you know, the traditional JP zoning. I wasn't really, because I was respecting your portal, right? I wasn't trying to jump over it or drive rush through it in this round or anything like that. So I think you might be better off trying to chip away at some of this drive gauge, and going for like the traditional JP zoning plan, right? Try to get a knockdown into a portal setup, right? So
the game plan that I have here was like, I saw that you walked past my portal, so I want to side switch and put you on the corner.
yeah,
That's why I do the TP.
gotcha. Yeah, because you saw me walking up, right? And I was definitely, because like I can't win from here, right? Like Ken can't win from this situation,
That's
right?
why, that's why I saw you respecting my portal, so I was like, okay, we'll just poke him and see if he come. And when I see you coming to me, I said switch instant to put you on the corner.
To teleport, yeah. And if I was better, I think like I should actually be watching the portal and watching you, right? So I know the portal is there. I know approximately how long it should take for it to actually fire. So what I should actually be doing here is looking at you, right? Looking at your character. Because he does this, right? When JP does the the spike out of the portal, he makes here's a specific animation he does, right? Right. So what I should be doing here is watching you, and then like reacting to this. So I know the portal's behind me. I know you can teleport, and then when you do this, right? This cane spin portion is a little bit different, right? If you look at the startup of this. Right? There's a ton of frames, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I should be ready to DP right here. I should be ready to crosscut, but that's for me. But I think like if you were playing against someone that was ready for that, you would get crosscut DP'd here, probably. Right? Because they'd be watching you react to that teleport and then DP, or parry, or some other defensive option, right? Instead, I like to block here, right? And then I hard read your shenanigans here and beat you with this, right? So, but yeah, I think, again, I don't necessarily hate the plan to portal me there and try to flip it over and get me in the corner there. But I do think that if you had me full screen already, I think JP wins by keeping me there. So like you land a hit, you walk forward, put me into the space of like the medium, like in between the medium and heavy spike. So then you try to keep pushing me back, right? Chip away at the drive gauge and all that stuff. I think that's probably a more stable plan overall versus trying to flip it, get me cornered, and then do Oki that way, right? So something to consider. I mean, it didn't work this time, but it worked in this one. So let's take a look at the next replay here. All right, so in this one, I think you actually were able to keep me in the corner, and then I die from there, right? So let's take a look. But yeah, again, the two things I noticed really was just the walk back portion, and then some of the Oki stuff, right? It's just making the correct decision or going for like a more layered defensive option, like a delay jab or something like that. But it's not, would I call those errors in particular? Probably not, right? I think that's just how the game went. Good check. All right, so my mistake here obviously was getting hit, and then now I'm in the corner. I'm down a bar, right? That was nice. We see how effective it is now. Like if you keep me here, although I guess you still do the portal thing. But you close the space, and then now I'm stuck here, right? So it's I don't mind this, honestly. If you think you beat me in the corner here, I think that's good. How stable it is overall in terms of game plan, I think the zoning is probably a little bit more effective until I make a mistake or until you drain more of my drive gauge. But I think it's fine if you went for this here. I don't hate it. Okay, now I gotta deal with the corner pressure. And he gets smoked
this
by...
one after the grab is good because the meaty spike, if you block it, I'm still +1, so...
Yeah, and it's tough for me to try to react to that, right? Or do anything there, because I have to just hold the plus frames, right? I actually tried to jump, I think, and that's what ended up launching me. And then from there, it was just a JP corner juggle combo that does 1,000,000 damage, right? So... Alright, so what happened there? You just didn't check,
I
right?
tried to check with...
Crouchy medium punch.
Yeah, I tried to check, but that was dumb because of the...
recovery. yeah. This is the Ken special, right? So you're stuck in parry recovery frames. Ken's coming at you 1,000,000 miles an hour. This is right here is where you've already. This is your recovery right here, right? It's already in your face, right? So maybe a 4-frame works. It trades maybe.
It's trade, but I think you still win.
I still get a trade combo here though. Yeah, if we trade here, crouching medium kick still reaches. So. But yeah, I mean, that's tough, right? If you allow this to happen at this space, and the parry happens with the light fireball here, right? This is basically free for Ken, right? So
that's so late when you do the fireball drive rush. I check it with the OD ghost.
Yeah, if it's late, I think like if you walk
here,
forward,
if I do OD ghost here,
yeah,
I would have clipped you.
Right here, right, and from this situation right here, yeah. I think the reason why this worked for me is because you backed up. So the fireball hits you further back. Now, if the fireball if you stood still and the fireball hits you right here, I think you can check that because you recover before I do, right? So if you stood still here and did the same option, right? So the distance there made it more plus for me, right? You had less, because of the recovery and the distance.
Yeah, the recovery.
Yeah. Right. So you could, if the fireball's coming in like that, you could consider just standing and parrying that. I think that if I commit to the drive rush there, you're going to be able to check it. So, you have to consider that. Because, again, the only reason this actually hits you is because you back up. Right? So from here, the drive rush is, going to come in pretty hot, right? So you can try to go for a second parry here, potentially. I mean, I've seen people do that. But yeah, this is a tough check otherwise. If you parry the fireball and you're stuck in recovery. Yeah, so... And then I drop it because I'm terrible at this game. So it's funny too, because I was thinking about this, like, after this happened. I didn't even consider that I had dropped it, right? So after this lands, right, I'm autopiloting. I'm actually looking at your health and my meter and out here. I'm not even looking at the screen anymore. So then I press this, I hear the wrong thing, and I, wait, what happened? And then by then I'm already in the DP. So, but yeah, that's just something I thought I'd bring. It's funny. I didn't really, after the hit was confirmed, the initial one, I just autopiloted through the motions. I didn't even consider it dropped. So, take a full combo here. Alright, so now we're in JP's win condition, right? So what do you do next? Portal? No, you already spiked, so portal would not be necessarily... I think it's still... Are you minus here? Yeah, you're minus, right?
Yeah, minus.
Yeah, so allows me to get that space back, right? So I think if you wanted to portal here, you'd portal after the ghost, right?
Yeah, because if I do it after the ghost, I have the Oki. And
yeah, you're like plus 11
if I do it
something.
after the spike, like after the spike, I'm just like, it's super fake.
Yeah, so you're plus enough, right? You can, or at least it showed 0 there, right? So you're not minus at least, right? So Ken can't really, like, I can't really move forward without you potentially tagging me with the spike, right? So. Yeah, so I think now this is fine. Like, I don't really do anything with it. I just move. I do take up some space, but I think throwing a ghost here might have made sense. In that scenario, after you block this, after I blocked the or got up here.
Yeah, but I think I still do that because if you drive rush, I still clip you with the portal activation.
So portal is probably fine in this situation here. If I decide to
here, if you drive rush, I hit you with the
you can react right with the activation. But yeah, you could also ghost here too to keep me locked down, right? Still kind of early. I think it kind of depends on the meter here, right? How much you're willing to spend, because I think and this is a me thing. I don't know how JP players really consider that, but I do think that if you have meter advantage here, it might make sense to just continue chipping away at it here, because I have to block this, right? You can also do like fake ghosts and other stuff to get me to parry, right? Try to waste meter that way. Again, I think it's just more of a stable game plan for JP overall versus trying to clip me with portals and stuff, right? But it worked. This game plan worked for you, right? Because I lost this round, so. But yeah, anti-air. Yeah. So now you're in the corner here, right? So like this whole situation comes into play because you get aggressive here, right? So if this was timed to where this would come out and clip my DP, maybe that makes sense. I just react to the anti-air here, and that kind of puts you in the corner here, right? So then I just take the Oki from here, stand heavy punch, right? So, right, and then there's that walk back, which is funnier here, I think, because there's nowhere really for you to go. So just have to be careful about that, I think. Right? So. Nowhere to go here, right? So, yep. And then there's my problem here, but I managed to block this time, but no crosscut, right? So I tried, didn't come out. So now this is where I'm in trouble, right? So this is where your JP in particular is really good, right? You're able to really mix me up in the corner, right? Of course. Naturally, SF6 is drive rush back throw fighter, right? So kind of get clipped there, take the throw, and it's okay though, right? I mean, it's not that it's okay, but
that's my weakness. Like I think you see it in my input, but I never take throw. I never take.
Yeah, you don't tech, right? And that's not a problem necessarily, right? Like people don't tech, and that's okay because it represents so much damage potentially. But I do think that if you are getting thrown a lot, which is what I'm doing to you here, it might be worth rotating that defensive option in to force me to shimmy, right? Because if you're delay tech everything, then I can't open you up, right? So I have to shimmy or do something else, like delay button, like leave a gap, right? Gap string or stagger pressure to open you up, right? That's pretty minus, so I should be punishing that with a bigger button here. I could have won this, actually, if I had paid attention.
Yes, I'm minus 14.
Yeah, so here, this is low enough for the back heavy, stand heavy kick, right? Yeah. It's a level 2.
I don't know why I do that. Because I could have killed with
Level 3.
drive rush cancel combo into level 3 and stuff. I don't know why I do that.
Yeah, just full cash out.
Yeah, I don't know why I do that.
Yeah. I mean, swag, I guess, you're on stream. But yeah, I think if you're autopiloting the turret combo into level 2, I think that's okay, but you have to recognize that you don't want to do that in this scenario, right? Like, from here, I'm dead, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I even say it right here, right? Level 1? You do that instead, right? So, you know. Now, I make the mistake of jumping and not respecting the portal here, expecting you to move, and then that's what gets me clipped, right? So, but again, I think, like, as far as, like, overall game plan goes, I think, like, against a player like me, like Juzzy the player, who tends to be a little bit more aggressive in this matchup just to get out of the zoning aspect, I think your game plan probably works fairly well. Portal, make me respect the portal, walk up, you know, force me to make a decision. But I think longer term, at least for, again, a stable JP that's going to, you know, be able to handle the volatility of ranked, I think that a zoning plan is probably going to be better overall. So, but yeah, I mean, what do you think? Like, that's really the only things I would really say. Otherwise, JP's pretty solid, man. I don't have any other notes for that.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like my zoning play is super bad with JP. I don't use the kit fully.
Yeah, it's you use it enough to try to get me out, like, away from you. But then I think your tendency has been, after you land the hit in the corner, like Amnesia or something else, where you send me full screen or even corner me, instead of, I mean, when you corner me, I guess going for corner pressure is probably okay, but when you send me full screen, like, you want to be in my face for some reason, right? Like, you've knocked me across the screen, you're putting portals up, and then you jumped at me, right? So
that's the Blanca effect.
Yeah, it's the I want to be in your face press buttons thing. And to be fair, JP can do that, right? You can whiff punish pretty well with, like, the cane and stuff like that, and he has some good buttons to be able to contest things. Like, the stand medium kick is really good, the crouchy medium punch is really good, right? You have some good buttons there. But I think, like, those get better if you're zoning me effectively, right? Because imagine if I only had one bar and you jumped at me and started doing that stuff, right? I have to hold all that stuff and you burn me out, potentially, right? So, you know, let's take a look at this last one here, just since we have a little bit of time. Do that. I know it's pretty late for you, right? Early? One of the others?
Yeah, it's so, 4:40.
4:40. Okay, good. You get your coffee, I guess, huh? So let's take a look at this one. This was the final game. We got a little scrambly at the end here, but let's take a look what happened. All right, so you know, it's funny on stream. I said, all right, the next time I do this, I'm gonna expect him to OD reversal here. So if I land this again, I'm just gonna block. I never do, but I said that on stream. It's pretty funny. All right, plus frames. There's your tech for the first time.
Yeah, this one I take because you
Yeah,
for the last 5 games you are like
yeah.
I will just tick throw. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like, okay,
I was getting away with it way too much, right? Like, and it's funny because for Ken especially, right? Like, he uses his meter to put you in the corner, right? Like, he doesn't really do extra damage by drive rush canceling. His main goal when he spends the 3-bar drive rush cancel is to go into target combo Tatsu, right? So for me as a Ken player, if I can do this all day, right here, right? Like, this is actually the same game plan that would happen with a crouch medium kick with punish, right? I'm going to spend 3-ish bars going for this tick throw pressure, right? So same expenditure, same thing. So, like, from a game plan standpoint, if you see a Ken, you know, like Ken doing this, I guess, you do have to make a defensive decision at some point if he's just going for tick throw, which you do. So it's perfect. But now you're in the corner, and now I had to spend 1 bar, right? So, and so just me trying to poke out. Good sweep. I tried, man. It didn't come out, but I tried.
See, here
The OD
when
clips me.
the
Right?
OD Ghost against the
Fireball
Fireball
Drive
Drive
Rush,
Rush.
I think, is the OD Ghost have like a hitbox that comes out earlier or something, or probably. I'm guessing it's just faster. But anyway.
Okay, so it's considered as a fireball against for clashing, but against player you have like uh it's not an effective fireball.
Yeah, there's like
for
a
certain distance.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
hitbox.
like it counts as a.
Yeah, it counts as
It's
in front of a
counted as a
clash.
fireball
Yeah.
for clash
Yeah.
for fireball, but not against player.
Yeah, because like the hitbox on the ghost itself is a little bit wonky, right? Like it doesn't actually come out until the ghost is actually on top of you. So like for a Jury drive rush or a Ken drive rush, you can actually get through it. But I think for OD ghost, I think it might have multiple hitboxes or something because that's what hit me, right?
Yeah.
So the first one gets through, and then the second one is what hits me, right? The hitbox is like back here, so.
Yeah. Wait.
Test. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my microphone got disconnected there for a second. So anyway. All right, so getting through that. All right, so this is full screen. This is a win condition, right? This is how JP wins. You have a bar over me right now, so continuing to zone from this distance is probably going to be the most effective way, right? So portal into it is fine, right? And then there's the walk back, right? That I've been tagging you with. So, I mean, this is probably fine. I should actually be going to maybe something a little bit more corner carry, but this is probably safer overall, right? For me, because I can get this drive rush.
Yeah, the drive rush meaty heavy punch.
Heavy punch, right? Yeah, and then you go for parry here, and like this is something that I'm working on is not autopiloting the stand heavy punch here. So like after this,
you delay it, no?
Yeah, it should either I should delay. Or right here, since I've already committed to not pressing a button, I should just react, right? I shouldn't actually just autopilot this, because if you do that, right? So,
just free.
Yeah, it's a free throw, right? I can just walk up now. So I already committed to not pressing a button, and just walk up, right? So that's just something that I'm working on for that, because I lose to that a lot, and it happened in this game a lot too, where I would shimmy and then throw a stand heavy punch and try to wish punish you pressing a jab or something, but you never did a delay jab or any sort of delay button, so my wish punish never happened, right? So like if you're not pressing, I can't punish that with my stand heavy punch in that scenario, right? So I should just be reacting, really, because if you had to press the button there, I think that clips you. So anyway, so unfortunately I just slammed this, turns over, but you walk back again, right? So I'm really taking advantage of that from you here. So alright. And unfortunately, I don't convert this, but I should have. The jump option is getting kind of clipped here. So, you know, it's tough to defend this like in a stable-ish manner. I think just blocking and waiting for the opportunity to press is correct here. But, you know, if you went for a reversal of some kind, like a level 1, I wouldn't have blamed you for that. Especially after that drive rush right there. Might have been okay to go for it. Anyway. So there was probably better for me. I delayed it more than I normally would, but I should have been ready with a DP, right? So, and then there too, right? Like this should have been an anti-air.
It drops so much.
Yeah, and then I got scrambly toward the end a little bit, right? So we both dropped a bunch of stuff, and I ended up getting away with one. So, but really, again, the tendency of you to back up is what I was exploiting for the most part, right? So once you kind of zone me full screen, like it's hard for me to get in. But if I'm able to make you block something, I could just do a delay crouching medium kick or even a crouching medium kick in general, and it'll clip you walking back. So. Yeah, that OD ghost works really well against that, right? So, right, so portal, right? Right. That should have been a DP on my part for the neutral jump. I will say though that I think if you are gonna jump, it might be worth forward jumping there, because if you obviously I don't anti-air this, right? But if you're gonna jump forward here, you'd land on the other side. Maybe take a crosscut if I'm good, but I know I don't do anything here. But if you just jump, you jump out of the corner for free, and I'm in the corner now. So it might be worth forward jumping instead of neutral jumping. Because you can still get a cross up, right? With,
I don't forward jump because sometimes when I try to cross up my opponent is too close to me, so
Oh.
they cross a cliff, and I get punished for that.
Oh, the whiff. Oh, when you land.
Yeah, like try to cross up here, but
Yeah. So
I
from here,
think
right?
because sometimes I'm too.
Oh. Oh, so that time it wouldn't have worked because he's crouching there. Does he actually crouch? Would I crouch if I saw that jump over? Maybe, I don't know, right? But I think that would have hit if Ken was standing. It also probably mattered too that the Ken did a crouching medium, like I did a crouching medium punch in that scenario, right? If it was like a stand heavy punch or more committal button, I think the crossover is fine. So I guess you'd have to look at the spacing and what buttons the opponent is doing there. But I mean, like usually worst case scenario there, you would take a crosscut DP and that'd be the end of it, right? You get out of the corner at least. You take an Oki situation, but your goal of getting out of the corner is done. And if I don't DP, then even better, right? You're able to get out of the corner. So something to consider. I mean, the neutral jump had been working for you, but if I was going for meaty throws and you neutral jump and I'm ready, I could DP that, right? So you should have to be careful. Right there, right? I should have been able to DP. I don't. See, that worked. That exactly what I was talking about, right? It just jump over me and it works, right? So. Oh, and I don't convert that. That I was so mad at myself for not not canceling that. Alright, so I'm in trouble here, right? Oh, I tried to anti-air, it didn't come out. Alright, so I think again, like it worked out pretty well for you to be able to jump out of the corner there. You landed some conversions on me not being able to defend properly in those cases. So yeah, I think it's totally fine. I think like again, if you wanted to get out of the corner sooner, forward jump is probably the better option. But other than that, right, like we took the round, so. Yeah, so I should have been able to DP you there, I think.
Yeah, you're able to DP.
Yeah, 100%, right? So. Yep. Then I drop
here,
it.
yeah, when I say like doing the portal in the troll here. Like,
Yeah.
I forgot that I always forgot that this move is 50 frame.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? Like you're still
It's like 1 second.
yeah, and like the portal's not even out yet, right? Like you see,
Yeah.
it's not even out, right? So you do this on my knockdown or back throw, right? Or sorry, if you had done the portal on the back throw, I think it would have been okay.
Yeah.
But if you did this instead, right? So yeah, if I had just blocked even, you know, I think like maybe this comes out.
If you block, I think that
Yeah,
you can maybe
might be able to clip me, or at least it'll come out. But I think that a lot of the meta, if you will, and if you look at some of the high level play, like people are just holding parry and then drive rushing after. So like you see the ghost come out, I hold parry until I parry it. If I perfect parry, even better, but I don't. I just parry it and then I just drive rush in, right? So if you throw another ghost or a spike here, potentially that tags me. But if you go for portal here, you're gonna get clipped, right? And then I mess up my conversion here. Whatever. Okay. See, the walk back here, it can be kind of rough, right? If I start waking up the crouching medium punt or crouching medium kick here, you get tagged, right? Like on, you know.
Yeah, because I don't know why I was like, you try to shimmy him.
Yeah. See if I'll bite. Right? I haven't teched one throw this entire game, I think. And
Yeah.
yeah. So now I'm in trouble here, right? So this is a pretty bad position for me, even though we both have healthy drive and all that stuff. I'm still 2 bars. You know, it's still a little bit of drive on me, but I'm full screen. This is your win condition, not mine, right? So I have to navigate this now. Right. So unfortunately, you go for kind of an aggressive move here, right?
I think I drive rush too early because I want to like.
Yeah,
I like this setup when I just drive rush come, and if my opponent do a 4 frame, my portal will just pop.
Yeah, hit your
before the 4 frame hit.
Yeah.
So I just miss my.
Yeah, and it's kind of opponent dependent too, right? Because if I elect not to challenge the portal here by walking forward and I stay a little bit behind it, you can't really drive rush at that point either, right? Because the you know, I have to be moving forward for that timing to work, because this portal is going to pop on a specific time,
but
right? So
the thing is, like, if you go back to dodge the portal, I got
yeah,
the advantage of the
yeah, you can
see?
spike or ghost or whatever, right? Yeah. But you go for an aggressive button here. I go for something faster. Like, that's Footsie's 101, right? Too close for this. I should have supered here, I think. I didn't, but I probably should have. And then I went for a I went for a delay here. So what I should have done was waited a little bit longer, right? I probably could have delayed it by maybe another. I actually missed it. I should have delayed this by about 5 frames. So I don't delay at all. So what I should have done was wait, and then delay tech here, right? The wait with an intention of delay teching, and this baits the amnesia, right? So I could wait.
You grab me at the last frame of
Yeah,
the amnesia.
right? So really bad for me here. So here I'm in real trouble, right? This is like game over for me now, right? 1 bar, can't get through the zoning, full screen, full meter, and all that stuff. I thought I'd get supered right here, but I guess it didn't come out, or he didn't want to.
I don't know if that hits because you're super.
Oh, you know what? I think it's because
low.
the portal coming, the portal spike, right?
Yeah. See, you're that cancelled you super low, so
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
wasn't
low.
sure if.
Yeah. If that was gonna hit, yeah. I mean, I think a super. If you knew it would cancel into that, I think it makes sense there though.
Hey, again.
Yeah, here's my mistake, right? I probably should have just took the Jinrai kick. Right, just take this, and then super you, right? Because then I would have gotten my meter back and put you in a burnout potentially. Instead, I go for this, which I didn't need to, right? I think I could have just supered from where I was standing. It would have been better. Because it would have put you in the similar situation overall. I think, in fact, it might have burned you out, because if you look at the meter here, like, your meter is there at that point, right? Like, right under 2 bars. And it's... Oh, I guess it stays there. Okay, never mind. So that should be fine. I guess it would have been fine either way, but the difference is I would have had 3 bars here to your 2. Or, like, part of 1 here. So I could have done something to you here. So now I have no resources, right? So that hits me, and now I have no chance really to win this game. I try to block correctly, and then they get crossed up here, right? So almost got it, but the portal cross up here killed me, right? Or it should have. And then I lose the scramble, right? So, yeah, I think if we take a look at the situations where you were getting hit, again, a lot of it is just you're walking back. That's your main tendency. And then additionally, I think, like, in the Oki scenarios, right, when you're on defense, I think you're favoring one particular option a little too much. It might be better to just kind of block or, like, choose it a little bit less overall. Because if I, again, am a better player and ready for that stuff, I can just be anti-airing you and, like, doing that stuff, right? So
yeah, or
it's
just
really,
if you meet him, jump don't work. So
yeah, I can change my offense to match that, right? So and we saw that in a couple of games, right, where I just went for a meaty instead, and it clipped you trying to jump or backdash or whatever, right? So then I was able to convert. So again, it's the rotation defensive options. You amnesia'd early, and then I kind of baited you a couple of times, and you stopped doing it, and then you went back to it towards the end. So, you know, that's that balance. You're like, when am I going to amnesia? When am I not? Right? So, but yeah, that and then, like, the full screen zone plan. I think you might need to talk to, like, Zessel or someone else or Hot Soup if they're around, like a better JP than me, to be able to talk about the zoning aspect, right? Because I think, like, again, that's the super stable, like, ranked grind game plan that will work better than trying to portal and make reads, right? So if you can keep someone on the other end without having to deal with any of the ranked BS, like, you're probably going to win more games than not, right? So that's all I would really consider. I don't think there's really too much else from here, right? So, cool, man. So what do you think? Does that sound like a reasonable thing? I mean, I know I'm not the best at that, but
yeah, no, it's that's good. Because that's what I thought about my JP before coming. But hearing you confirming it,
yeah, because that's how I was able to keep it close, right? So the situations where I did lose an Oki situation, you sent me full screen. The only reason I was able to really get back into it is because you weren't committing to that full screen zone game plan, right? So because you weren't doing that, I was able to kind of walk in without spending too much drive or having, without getting punished too hard for walking in, because all I had to do was guess at a portal when you get a spike or whatever. And then I was in there, right? And then all of a sudden you had to deal with that, right? There wasn't a whole lot of like the neutral game, if you will, there. But, JP doesn't play that game anyway, right? He can, but he doesn't need to. Just throw the ghost out, get me full screen, and then zone, right? You don't need to do anything else for that. So, like, I'm the one that has to try to bait you into doing stuff. You don't have to do that, right? As JP, just stick your disjoint out, let me run into it, right? That's really how that works most of the time. So, cool, man. So you want to run You want to run it back? You got time? Feel like it? Go to bed?
It's 5. I don't
Okay,
think I
that's
can.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all good, man. I offer it in case you want to, but don't worry about it. But I think you got the feedback you were looking for anyway. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. Cool. So hopefully that was helpful. I guess we'll call it there, and then I'm gonna go download City of the Wolves and play that. So. All right, cool, man. I'm just gonna do the outro for the stream. I'll put the VOD up tomorrow once it converts on my end. But otherwise, yeah, man. Have a good morning. Otherwise.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night.
Yeah, take care. All right, folks. That's been Sit Down and Shut Up. Saku is the first person to beat me in the first to three. Satora is the other one to beat me in the second first to three a while back. So it happens. Saku is a fantastic player, right? I mean, he plays high level Blanca, a bunch of other characters. So, it wasn't totally unexpected for me to lose to that. Additionally, my personal weakness in like the game plan I struggle with the most is actually the zoning game plan. So mid-range zoning from like a Guile or JP is something I really struggle with, like a Akuma, for example. So obviously it's not something I need to learn it's something I need to learn how to deal with, obviously. Anyway, this has been Sit Down and Shut Up. I run these through the Fight Rise Discord. Fight Rise is a fighting game community. They run bi-weekly events through the One Fight Stand series. They run a 7-round Swiss pool for masters and above. And if you're below master, they run a round robin pool, usually around 8 to 10 players. So you get around 7 rounds of tournament level sets, or tournament, pressure sets, if you will. Come by, it's a great time if you can. It's every other Tuesday. I think that there's one coming up this Tuesday. Take a look at the Discord, check it out if you want. They also run community showcase events through their One Fight Stand series. I did commentary for the one recently. If you want to check that out, that's twitch.tv/FightRiseFGC. So take a look at that if that's interesting to you. If you're, in the Fight Rise Discord, you may get showcased at some point if you're participating a ton. I also want to plug their Big League KO series. They just did sign up, so you won't be able to sign up for this particular season, but there should be one coming up in a few months. Basically, what this is a league format, so you'll be put into a pool of 7 other players around your, kind of MR skill level, whatever you want to call it. And you run basically a round robin. So you run 7 rounds of first to 5s, but they're spread out over the course of 5 weeks. So you run 2 first to 5s every week. And then the last week you run 1 first to 5 and any makeups. And it's kind of flexible scheduling. So you work with your opponent to schedule the time. It's really great for getting longer sets. And if your schedule, like mine, can be a little bit sporadic or tough to find tournament times, right? It's great for that. If this type of thing, this session interested you and is something you want to get for yourself, please join the Fight Rise Discord. Take a look at the Sit Down and Shut Up channel. The pinned messages there will help you on how to get signed up for that. So take a look at that. Be happy to, and I try to train anybody that wants this type of coaching. Any rank is okay. Any skill level is okay. Any experience is okay. Other than like, the high level 1700 plus guys, 600 plus guys, right? Ends up becoming a little more of a peer review session like this was here, because Saku is really, really strong player. So, if that's something interesting to you, take a look at that. I'm also part of the Newbie Fight Club. So Newbie Fight Club is another fighting game Discord. It's just around Street Fighter 6, but they have some 3D fighters as well, helping new players get into the game. They run lobby nights Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They also run special lobby nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they do run tournaments every other week, every other Friday, I think is what it is. So if either of those interests you, take a look at the Discord link for the Newbie Fight Club. I also want to shout out the Warriors Den. I play games with those folks, and I've had some folks from them on the show before. Really great fighting game community. If you're looking for games, they seem to have games and people willing to play anytime. So any of these Discords I'm fairly active on. So if you want games with me or anyone else in this community, join those Discords, look for games, and yeah, have a good time. So otherwise, this has been Sit Down and Shut Up. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to go get City of the Wolves, and we're going to play that. So I'll probably do that off stream, though. So appreciate you guys, and have a good night.